Welcome to the What Happens Next YouTube channel. What we're aiming to do with this channel is share content designed to make sure that you're supported through whatever's next in your life. And we'd love to continue to do that. I've got a favour to ask today, and what I'd ask you to do is just subscribe. It costs you nothing, but it really helps us deliver really good quality content on a consistent basis. Thank you, and let's go on to the interview. What would you do differently as a financial planner?
So after I stepped away from my kind of day job, so 2020, maybe even 2021, I can't quite remember the timing now, I was approached by an organization called the Institute for Financial Wellbeing, who I know you know, Chris, and I think Chris Budd, who was the founder, has been one of your guests. And at first I thought, financial wellbeing? What's wellbeing got to do with what we do? But I listened and I read around the subject, and all of a sudden I had this great big kind of penny drop moment when I realized that actually what we do is in terms of helping people with money is really, really important. But what's the context, and what context are we enabling our clients to see money within? So, you know, and again, whether you've done this, Chris, but typically when I used to meet a new client, I would obviously welcome them in, go through the chit chat, and then I would say, what's important to you about money? And immediately you start to have a money conversation, don't you, with a client? And there were some stock answers that always come up, which we can touch on if necessary. But the question I should have been asking is, what's important to you about life? Because life is this thing that we're all getting through. And when you think about money in the context of well-being, you start to have much more expansive conversations. Now, the framework that actually Chris Budd introduced me to was one that came through for some research by Ruth and Harper, which identifies 5 pillars of well-being. And in fact, I think you talk about this, Chris, on your What Happens Next website. But just for the purpose of this conversation, all of us within need a balance between career/purpose, social relationships, whether that's family or friends, feeling and being part of a community, having physical well-being and financial well-being. So if we as financial planners who have incredible access to our clients, because they tend to come and see us at least once a year, and they share with us all sorts of things about what's going on with their lives. And, you know, don't get me wrong, I did have wide conversations with clients, but it was more, I think we could be much more intentional about asking our clients to think about those 5 pillars, those 5 pockets of life, and ask them how they're feeling about each of them. Because, you know, I've seen plenty of people who've got tons of money, but rubbish relationships, you know, their marriages fall into pieces, their health is rubbish. And they don't know what to do once they stop working, that thing that has created the wealth.